All right, well, I'm not going to do the talk. I'm just going to introduce the speaker. Um, so we're going to talk about this today. And I'm just happy that Blessie can join us today. So just like all our implementations, I had to do it in phases. Phase one was are you free to go to Belgium? Phase two was do you want to go to the conference? And phase three, are you comfortable with giving a talk? And good thing she answered yes to all of them. And we're here. I'm Rain Duque, by the way. I'm the country manager of Omni Technical Global Solutions. We're based in the Philippines and in the US. Blessie Yu will be doing the talking today. She's the GM of Innosen, which is a manufacturing company based in Manila. She'll tell you more about it. Some of her expertise include business BPO management, customer relationship management. Odoo functional training should be here too. I haven't met anyone who's actually very knowledgeable in Odoo manufacturing as Blessie. And she has a bachelor's degree in European languages and an MBA from AIM. Okay, Ms. Blessie.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for being here. I wasn't expecting an introduction, but I guess because this is my first time to ever give a talk about Odoo, I'm very surprised that a lot of you are here. So thank you for your interest. And I just want to share a little bit of our story. So I work for Innosen, and this company is a research and development, and we manufacture sensors and quality control equipment for the can making industry or the metal packaging industry. All your beer cans, your food cans, your paint cans, everything that has metal in it and is used in packaging, even your aerosols and your foils, that's our market. So we provide quality control equipment for their process, for their factories. Now, Innosen originally started in the UK, but then because of change of ownership, we have an office in Spain, and then we set up an office in the Philippines, where I'm based from, and eventually we had an office in Hong Kong, and just recently this year we opened up an office in the US. Now, the whole world basically is our market. Anybody, any country who has can making, that's our customer. So, but we're a very small company. There's only 20 people, 3 people in sales, 1 person in purchasing, and 2 people in manufacturing. And then the rest is accounting, marketing, and R&D. So let me start with our history. Okay, I'm a little bit nervous, but yeah, our history in 2011, I joined the company in 2011, and it was imposed that I start using OpenERP 6. And I'm not so sure if anybody of you is familiar with OpenERP 6. Great, there's one. That's the dark ages of Odoo, I think. Odoo was called OpenERP 6 before, and it was the Jurassic era. It was so difficult. There was a lot of limitations. It was we were only using purchasing and sales modules before, because that was what we can configure. And of course, being in the Philippines, it's even more difficult to find support, companies who can support what we want to achieve with our ERP system. We went with OpenERP because, first of all, it's open source, and at that time it's mostly free, and the owner of the company is Dutch. So sorry for the Dutch people here, but you would understand that. And when we started using OpenERP 6, we had 2 companies. Of course, the original company in Spain, we had 2 people who handled sales. That also included the manager of the office in Spain, and that also meant that he was the R&D director as well. And then we opened up, as I mentioned, we opened up Philippines in 2011. And because OpenERP 6 was so difficult, we moved to OpenERP 7, which wasn't very different from 6, but it had a lot more options. and capabilities than 6. And then at the same time, we had to reorganize for better efficiency. So we opened a holding company in Hong Kong, which means now that Hong Kong owns the other 2 companies. And we have said that the Philippines will manufacture and will export 100% to the office in Spain. And finally, after how many years in Open ERP 7, we said that we're ready to move to 10. So this year, we moved to 10, which is kind of late, I guess, because a lot of people might be using 11. But with 10, migration nightmares from 6 to 7, I don't want to talk about that one, but then Odoo 10, we're still continuously improving, but I can say that I think this is the first time in 7 years that I'm very happy to use the system because we can process end to end now completely. And then we also opened our US office this year. Nobody's there yet. It's going to serve as a warehouse and a service center. Spain is also a warehouse, a sales warehouse and service center for its territories. The Philippines, it houses manufacturing, marketing, sales, accounting, R&D. And then, so this is how we are organized. Hong Kong is the parent company, and under it we have Spain, the Philippines, and the US. Now, Hong Kong sells to Asia and Oceania. Why? Because Asia, mostly English, and it's better because of the time difference. So that's the territory for Hong Kong. Spain is in charge of South America because of the language as well, and also the time difference. Europe, Eastern Russia, South Africa, and parts of the Middle East. The Philippines is the manufacturing company. It exclusively sells to Hong Kong, while the US, it sells to North America and Canada. And the yellow lines, those are the flow of transactions. Philippines can only sell to Hong Kong and not to any other company because Hong Kong is the owner of the IP and licenses, and Hong Kong sells directly to the other companies. It doesn't sell to any other customer aside from Asia and Oceania. It lets the other companies sell to their own territories. And then, oops, sorry. Oops. Sorry. I need to go back to the slide. Oops. I'll just... Okay, sorry about that. The blue lines, that is the flow of goods, because Hong Kong is just a holding company. It doesn't have a warehouse. So what the Philippines does is it delivers to its customers, to Hong Kong's customers. And then the Philippines also drop ships. Well, it drop ships to the customers of Hong Kong, and it delivers directly to Spain and the US. Being in four countries, 3 different continents, and our database has over 12,000 contacts with over 4,000 product lines. It's essential for us to have this multi-company transactions, multi-company and multi-currency. Our base currency in Odoo is in euros. Our Spanish company sells in euros, but our Hong Kong company sells in US, and the same with our Hong Kong and US company. So there's a lot of conversion that's going on in there, but we have kind of applied logic on how we can handle the multi-currency facet of our transactions. For example, this one, you will see that we have an EUP and then EUR. So there are 2 euro currencies in there. Why? Because when we quote to a customer, we base it on our price list. And our price list is in euros. So we don't want our price list to keep changing with the fluctuations of foreign exchange. So what we have applied is that we have a fixed exchange rate for customer sales and then we follow the ECB, or the European Central Bank exchange rate, for our intercompany transactions. So the EUP or the EUR, that's the base currency. And then sales will have to choose if it's USD, SGD, or PHP that they're going to sell to. But the system is completely figured out to select which foreign exchange it's going to use for every transaction and for every sale. Now this is an example. It's a confirmed sales order. This is from the parent company. Limited is Hong Kong. So it orders, it's just a dummy customer. Now, what's important to note here is that the routing, it says drop shipping. So you also have to remember that Hong Kong doesn't have any employees. So the sales of Hong Kong is being handled by the sales team in Manila, which is one person. So the sales team in Manila handles all the sales for Hong Kong and also the drop ships to other companies, to Hong Kong customers. Now, it's important that we have the intercompany transactions. All of this is automatically done. Once we confirm the sales order, if there's a quotation and then the customer says, yeah, okay, this is our purchase order, we confirm the sales order. And if it's drop shipping, this generates an order, a purchase order for the manufacturing company, and the manufacturing company will then have to deliver to the customer. So this is the confirmed purchase order. Now, important to note that earlier the sale was in euro, but now the purchase order to the manufacturing company, because it knows it doesn't sell in euro, but it only sells in US, so it converts it right away using the intercompany transaction forex exchange. So this, and you can see that the source document is there. The vendor reference is auto-populated once it gets confirmed. A sales order in the manufacturing company is created. So nobody has to do anything. It's just one click of a button. Once you sell in limited and you confirm it, and then you confirm the purchase order, it generates another order in the other company. And you log into one instance, you log into Odoo, you can just select which company you want to go into. So this is a confirmed purchase order showing drop shipment. This is the deliveries and invoice. If this is a real company, you will see delivered to the name of the company and then the drop ship address, the address of the customer. And in goods receipts, once there's a drop shipment, the parent company or whoever company ordered, it will still appear in their inventory dashboard. You will see it later on, but at the same time, the company who will deliver the goods will also have the delivery order. So all company will be updated on the movement of the goods, on the delivery of the goods. So this one shows the parent company that it has a pending goods receipt, and once it receives this, it will automatically update the sales order as delivered. So this is the sales order from the manufacturing company. It's also drop shipment. I hope everybody's still following. And then the other information is, it shows the currency, the price list, what they're going to use, and the customer reference is also there. Now in the inventory dashboard, this is from the parent company. So you will see that there are still 2 waiting drop ships, back orders, and then late orders as well. But all of these, because it doesn't have its own warehouse, it can still monitor the vendor who's going to deliver those orders. So it's easily done. Now for the dropship routing, this is from the manufacturing company. The moment that it has this and delivers this order, it inputs the serial number, and serial numbers are very important, at least for us, because it also, a lot of our products, they need to be calibrated every year. So we need to get them back every year and then calibrate them to make sure that they're working perfectly fine. And this creates a very good traceability, because the moment that you deliver this, the delivery date is also the calibration date. And a year after that, the system will automatically send us maybe 20 days before calibration due date to remind the customer that this gauge needs to come back for calibration. And ever since we employed this one, since OpenERP 7, the first year that we used the automatic generation of notifications, we had over 100% returns over 100% increase in the revenue of services because of calibrations. And then every year it's consistent that we're getting a lot of the gauges back, because of course people forget, but the system, it helps a lot when you have that set up. So once you put in, for example, this one, it has 5, the quantity is 5. The manufacturing company or the logistics company, it enters the serial number when you deliver it, and then the parent company says that, okay, this has been delivered by the vendor. It updates it and it presents the serial number that the vendor actually delivered. So there's no need to enter the serial number again. It's just once. Okay, additional info. It's their procurement order. We wanted to show the source document, and then the partner where it's going to be delivered. This is showing the serial number. Once you only enter it once, and then it appears in the other companies as well. There are transactions where Philippines delivers to Limited in Hong Kong, and Hong Kong, the transaction is Hong Kong buys from Limited, but it sells to Spain. So what happens is the flow of serial numbers, basically in the documents, it goes to Hong Kong first, and then it goes to Spain, and then it goes to the customer. And the whole flow of that is captured in the movement of the serial numbers, so that when it reaches the customer, you would know if this is from which company. Is it from the US? Did it go directly from the Philippines to Hong Kong and the customer? Or did it go from Philippines, Hong Kong, Spain, and then the customer? So everything is captured. And then this one, as I mentioned earlier, this is the sales order, the original sales order. Now it shows as delivered because the dropship has been completed. Now, that's a small portion of what we do, but also because we're a small company, everything needs to be efficient. In manufacturing, especially in Odoo 10, we're also monitoring that, especially efficiency and the quality, because we export. Manila exports 100% of its products. So it's very important that 100% of our products are working and is at top quality. So this is an example of manufacturing. I think that you guys are familiar with this already, that you see if it's a fully productive time or if there's reduced speed, if there are delays, especially because we only have 2 people in manufacturing. And what we do is we don't really manufacture, we assemble. So we export 100%, but we import about 85% of all of our raw materials. So our office is quite busy receiving and delivering goods. And then this one is for quality control as well. It's if there's a quality issue, it's being flagged, and then it will be fixed, hopefully. And that's it for my part. I turn you over to Rain again. Thank you.
Thank you, Blessie. All right, so moving forward, we're still trying to solve some migration issues from 7 to 10. So we're looking to fix some of that, and we're also looking to implement the other modules in Odoo, such as expenses. And with that, we also need to localize the HR system of Odoo, the payroll for the Philippine market. And of course, we're also looking at, after we're done doing that, hopefully we will be able to migrate from Odoo 10 to Odoo 12 in the near future. And of course, I have a mandatory sales slide here. Okay, so just in case you're in the same position, or if you're a partner looking to augment your expertise, so we have the right experts. Some of our key players has been with has been doing open ERP since version 6. Of course, we know ERP, not only are we an Odoo partner, we're also partnered with several Oracle and several other software. And of course, we're committed to strong business relationships and high quality results. Okay, if you guys are interested, here's our contact information. My CEO is here as well. Ferd is here, and he takes care of our operations in the US. And for the Philippines, this is my information. Okay. You can also get my card from me, or can exchange cards. All right.
Guys, thank you for listening. Just one request. Is it okay to have a selfie so I can send it to my marketing team for them to believe that there are actually people who listen to my Okay, so here, 1, 2, smiles. Thank you so much.